Welcome back to my college football best bets video for week 12. In this one, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be going over the top 5 most confident bets I have for the college football week 12. My season so far, we're doing really good with the money line, 94-51 spread. We're just below 500, but I think with this new format and the new version, I think we're going to do a lot better going forward the rest of the season, guys. So, my 5 most confident picks for the week. Number 5, Clemson versus Pittsburgh. Clemson's 11-point favorite. They're on the road at Pittsburgh, but Pittsburgh has just been playing absolute dog shit the last 2 weeks. They started off 7-0. They've lost to a very bad Virginia team, as well as got crushed by SMU a couple weeks ago. Clemson, they're coming off a loss to Louisville, but I do think in the end, Clemson is just, they're so much more talented than Pittsburgh is. They have the same exact record, yes. They're on the road, yes. But this 11-point spread, I feel like Clemson might, they win by 17 plus in this one. The public is taking Pittsburgh 54% of the time, but I'm going to buck that. I'm going to take Clemson to win by at least 11 points, if not 14, if not more, in this one. Number 4, Oregon going on the road to Wisconsin. If this game was played 2 weeks ago, I think I would have taken Wisconsin 100%. The way they were playing, they were 5-2, I think, at that time, and they were just playing really good. Before that loss to Penn State a couple weeks ago, and then I don't know what happened last week against Iowa. But either way, Oregon is just playing lights out. Dylan Gabriel is just absolutely nuts. They've covered the spread as an away team. They're 7-1-1 in their last 9 games on the road since 2023. They actually covered it by more than 8 points each game. Meanwhile, on the other side, Wisconsin is 3-8-1 as the home team, and they have missed the spread by almost 5 points each and every game. So this one, I'm going to take Oregon. 14 points. They're the favorite. The public has taken them 93% of the bets. I'm going to agree with them. The last 6 games in November, Oregon's 4-2, while Wisconsin is 1-6-1 the last 8 games in November. I'm taking the Ducks to win the game and to cover the 14 points. Number 3 most confident pick, LSU versus Florida. LSU is coming off that absolutely destruction loss versus Alabama at home last week. And Florida, at the same time, is coming off a loss of their own. This is only a 3.5-point spread for the Tigers. They're a favorite. But the public, 91% of the time, is taking LSU. This 3.5 points. Very close game. I'm going to take LSU because just the way this game is lighting up, just the way Florida is, they've been playing good, then they're cold. They're hot, they're cold, and I just feel like LSU could have been playing a worse game last week against Alabama. I think they're going to rebound on the road. When the spread is 0 to 3.5 points, LSU was 7-5, while Florida is 4-9. Plus, the last 5 against Florida, they haven't lost against the spread. While Florida is 4-6 in the last 10 games versus ranked opponents, I think LSU is going to win this. They're going to cover the spread easily. Number 2 most confident pick of the week, South Carolina versus Missouri. South Carolina is a 13.5-point favorite. They're everybody's trendy pick to cover the spread this week, as the public's taken 78% of the time, and I'm going to agree with them. Look at these stats here. 7-2 this whole season. South Carolina is against the spread. They covered by almost 12.5 points each and every game. The last 12 home games, they're 7-5. They covered by 4 points. Well, even though Missouri is 5-2 in the last 7 away games, they covered it by almost 3 points. The big one here, the last 7 games as a home favorite, South Carolina is 5-2. They covered it by 5 points. In the 3 games they played a ranked opponent this year, Missouri, they're 0-3 against the spread, and they missed it by 18 points. That is remarkable to me. That difference right there is enough to put them over the edge for South Carolina. 13.5. I think the Gamecocks named the score in this one. I think they moved to 7-3 as one of the more underrated 3-loss teams in the entire country. And now my most confident pick of the week, Ohio State going on the road. Well, technically a road game. It's played at Wrigley Field against Northwestern. 4-5 Northwestern is. Ohio State's 8-1. They're number 2 in the recent CFP poll. The public has taken Northwestern 54% of the time, and I'm going to tell you why I agree with them. The last time Ohio State played Northwestern, they were a 38.5-point favorite 2 years ago on the road. Midway through the third quarter, the score was 14-7. Give or take, it was a Gales Force win. It was raining, and they had one of the one of the most prolific offenses in the recent memory. Ohio State could barely put 21 points on this Northwestern team. And yes, I understand that it's not a Pat Fitzgerald-led team, but 28 points on a baseball field. I think what the stat was of baseball field, teams that are favorites are like they cover it 33% of the time. I couldn't find the actual stats. I didn't put it here, but Northwestern, I just have this gut feeling that after a loss, they're 6-4 the last 10 games, and they covered by 10 points after a loss the last 2 years. Ohio State in 7-3 versus Northwestern, they lost 10 games, but I just feel like this is different, though. Ohio State, they're coming into this game needing a bad win. They're coming into this game needing a wake-up call for them before they get to the final 2 games in probably the Big Ten championship game. They're in need of a game where they just play sloppy, crappy, just whatever it is. And I think Northwestern's going to give them that game where they cover, 35-7 could be. They still cover. But they win 42-14, but Northwestern still covers. I just feel like this is going to be a gritty game that Ohio State does not want to play, and Northwestern would love to play. And that's why I feel like Northwestern is going to cover this. Ohio State's going to win the game. No chance they lose this game. But Northwestern as a 4-touchdown favorite with a half point, I think they're going to cover, and this is going to be my most confident pick for Week 12.